Set a timer for 4 minutes. So, what have you heard about adoption? What have you heard about foster care homes? What have you heard about sex selective abortion? What have you heard about PGD, pre-implantation genetic diagnosis? So, one of the incredible things I did during my master's program would be conducting research studies on issues that affect children. I raised the concerns on the duty to adopt. I don't know if it should be called a duty, but I feel like we all should adopt, but not necessarily a duty, not a must. But I raise a concern anyways. Again, the goal is that we're looking out for the kids, best interest of the children, and which is that as much as I feel like we should adopt, so I was addressing the issue of transracial adoption, that then should we consider permanency in foster care homes. Again, the idea is to like just oppose ideas and policy and see the what would be in the best interest of the kids. So after like analyzing the permanency in foster care, that field based on the data I worked with, I realized that a lot of kids they dealt with or they're dealing with one challenge or the other. Why in foster care home? So I went back to adoption and I concluded that it's best we go with same race adoption. And we should try to limit or eliminate transracial adoption. So if at all that you find yourself adopting from another race, there are two conditions that you have to meet. One is you must be willing to talk about adoption, and you must be together with you willing to learn about the child culture, the food, everything about the child. So I want to be able to come back home and talk about whatever I've dealt with in the society outside the house. I want to be able to talk about what I dealt with at work. I want to be able to come home. Basically, our home is our safe place, right? So one other thing is like you learning about the culture. I remember when I first moved to Canada and I went to the barber shop. The very first question the barber asked me was, "Should I cut your hair to the front, or it should be to the back?" That's an example of what I'm talking about. So you must be willing to learn about the culture. You don't want them to feel disconnected from their own culture. So the second thing is that it must be based on humanitarian purpose. So the main goal, like adopting from another race, should be like you are helping the child, is in the best interest of the child. An example is that let's say there's a war going on in another country and you feel like you have the capacity to adopt just a child and save that child from getting killed in that country, then you decide to adopt the child. That is based on humanitarian purpose. Adopting from another race in that sense will be considered good, will be considered morally permissible. Again, you must be willing to talk about racism. If you can meet these two conditions, then I feel like you can adopt from another race. Aside from that, let's just stick to same race adoption. If we have kids with every healthy mind, it means that will make society a better place in general. Hope to see you in the next video, guys.